Hi you guys, welcome back to my garden. Guys, today's video is going to be a very different type of video that you've seen from me. I thought it would be fun that we would do a walkabout and how different things develop and what my mindset was. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts of placement. I'm going to be sharing with you guys what my mindset was when I was adding different things into my garden. And I hope you guys enjoy the video that you're about to see. You guys drop down in those comments throughout the video and let me know what you feel about this gardening space. So come on you guys, let's talk about it. I am so excited because I came out the other day when I was messing with my fountain. So when I do my videos, like my videos are maybe shot like 3 or 4 days in advance. They obviously go to editing. And then from editing, I'm able to post the video here. So when I was out here a couple days ago, I seen maybe 1 or 2 tulips that were peeking out. And you guys, the tulips are here, baby. The tulips are out and they are like starting to peek out. So I know I said that I was not going to put mulch down in this area until until all of the leaves came down. Now I have literally almost, how many videos you guys have you guys seen me out here raking up leaves? And that's been in quite a few videos. But now all of my trees, so I have 2 large trees on my property, right? And yes, I have full sun because my house faces the west, right? So I get full time, so full sun in the morning, full sun in the afternoon with that, or with the orientation of my house. But a few of my neighbors' trees, some of their trees hold on to their leaves and then they release them and then they drop down, right? But so that's why you see me cleaning up leaves in the video that I put out yesterday. If you have not seen that video, I'll put it in the cards at the end of the video. But in that video, instead of me blowing the leaves out to get them off, off of that side embankment over there, what I did is I blew all of those leaves to the bottom of the hydrangea to make sure they could continue to protect that hydrangea. Now over here in this area, all of these hydrangeas, with the exception of the microphylla hydrangea, and we'll go take a look at that in a minute, all of those hydrangeas bloom off of new wood. So even if we do have a late frost, a late freeze, it is okay because they bloom off of new wood. So they form their buds this year. But for the hydrangea on the side of my house, I blew all of those leaves back into the crown. I probably will not take those leaves off until after probably April the 14th, if we just being realistic about the situation, because we do have late snows. So I'm going to show you guys the mulch in this area. Now I am thinking about changing the texture of moss. Now one of the things that I like to do in my garden is I'm very big on texture. I'm very big on color echoes in my garden. You'll hear me talk a lot about color echoes. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to play around with texture. And texture does not mean just plants. I like to use different types of mulch. So in this area on this side of the garden, because this is a completely different space like this area over here. So on this side of the garden, I have a fine pine bark mulch. I'm thinking about changing that to a more finely textured wood. I'm not sure, but I would love to hear you all's opinion on if you guys think, tell me what you think about the mulch over here, and if you think I should go with a more fine texture. So let's get in here. I'll show you guys the mulch, and then from there we're gonna look at the tulips. Like, I totally feel like spring is here, but I cannot be fooled by these false temperatures, because like today it's a pretty nice day. If I would have came out earlier, I probably could have been outside with just my little small jacket on. But I'm not gonna be fooled, because then next week it's gonna be a snowstorm and I'm gonna be out here in my garden looking for something to do in the middle of a snowstorm. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys this mulch. And I love when you guys give me your opinions about, you know, different things that's going on in my garden, about the different project, whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. And my garden may not be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that too. Hey, it is what it is. You got to have difference and variety. But come on, let's look at this mulch. So come on, you guys, let's go look at it. So the mulch that we have here, if we get in closer and we look at this mulch, so you guys, so I gotta watch where I'm stepping, because when I tell you these tulips are out here. So if we get in closer, let me get the leaves out of here, and we look at this mulch. Look at this texture. So if I get closer to the camera, you see that? What you think about this? Let's get in closer. Okay, can you guys see that a little bit? Okay, so this is the texture of the mulch, and so it's like this texture. Show you another area in my garden, so that has more different textures than that. So let me know what you think about that. So I'm thinking about changing this. So in this area, so if you can see this mulch right here, see, this is like a real, this mulch is like a real fine texture. Can you guys see that? Let me focus the camera for us. It's a real fine texture mulch. Mulch. I got moss on the brain. Okay, and then let me show you this other black texture. Okay, so this black texture, this is more like it's ice in there. Okay, so this texture mulch right here. So think about that. Over here in this area, you guys, I came in and I planted a ton of tulips all over here. I'm afraid to walk anywhere because, one, the tulips are over here and they're like sprouting. So I gotta walk closer to the fountain. Okay, so all of this area, all of the tulips are starting to come in, but as you can see, I have quite a bit of leaves that's still in this area. So all in this area right here, so all of this, the tulips are starting to come up. They're picking up. I am like so excited. Okay, can you see them? Like you got a tulip here, here's a tulip. You see, as I uncover the leaves, you can really see them. Okay, like right here, there, here's a tulip, here's a tulip, one right there. I'm gonna cover these back up. Okay, like there's tulips everywhere in here, guys. And then also, you guys, I have sedum that's peeking out in this area. So when I do my plantings, I believe in understory and understory plantings as well. Okay, I don't see any tulips in this area right here, but all of this, like, it's just so much stuff that's still alive. But I've never got to the best time, in my opinion. So you guys, the best time, in my opinion, in the winter time, that's when I like to come outside in my garden. I walk around, and that's when I make my plans for my garden. Sometimes I'll change things, like I'm not really big on changing things, but there are a few things that I might pull out in my garden this year, and some of them you may be shocked, and I'll show you guys a little bit of that. But the winter time is when I like to come out and I walk around my garden, and I just see, because that's when you can actually see the bare bones. Okay, so in the winter time, I can stand out here and I can see the bare bones in my garden. I know what work and what do not work. Like, for example, this fountain, like when I got this fountain, like when I tell you she was speaking to my heart, like that song, you know what song I'm talking about, Speak to My Heart. That's how, when I seen this garden fountain, it literally spoke to me. I was like, oh, it needs to be in my garden. Like, this is me. And it wasn't even out in the front, it was in the back when I got this fountain. but the placement is what makes it. So let me show you what I mean by placement. And these are some of the things that I like to use when I do my garden design. So I have been gardening for decades. So let me put that out there. I've been gardening for decades. When we bought this house, I said I wanted a house with, I had so many different criterions that I wanted in the house that we were buying, as everybody does. But for me, what was most important was, well, I can't say most, but it was just as important as what was in the house. The yard was just as important. So, in this house, like, has some check marks or whatever. It has some check marks. With me, I like to come out and I like to look at my garden. But let me show you another thing that I like to look at with gardening, and I'm gonna show you in just a second. So let's go over here and let's look at this area, what I want to show you next. I gotta watch out for the tulips. Oh, all right, so I'm gonna stand right here and you guys tell me what you see. What can you see? You see the fountain, right? So you see the fountain, and you see this beautiful fountain, right? But if you walk over a couple of steps, right? So we walked over a few steps, right? Now tell me, what do you see? So I'm gonna move out the way. You tell me, what do you see? Oh my God. It's things like that that I like to incorporate in my garden. Those little bitty treasures that you can see if you look beyond what's in front of you. And that's how I like to do my garden. I love to put, don't be shocked if you come to my channel and you see those beautiful big, large, heavy containers. But we're not putting annual flowers in those. We're dropping big, beautiful, literally big, beautiful, like maybe a tree. I plant trees in containers. I plant large shrubs in containers. That's just me. That's always been the gardener that I've been. Like, I've always defied the odds. It's no rule book to tell you how you have to do your garden. I'm going to do my garden. I'm going to let my garden speak to me and tell me which way I should go. So another thing, let's walk around here and look beyond the corner. So if you're standing right here in my garden, so at first take, so you're standing right here, you come out. So let's say if we out of quarantine. We out of quarantine. So like, we don't have to come over and wear masks. And I say, well, come on, you guys, let's go have a cup of coffee. Matter of fact, let me go get me a cup of coffee. So wait 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, did y'all go get y'all a cup of coffee? And if you don't drink coffee, sip on some tea or whatever your choice drink is. So let's say I have you guys in my garden and you come in. Well, I've already created an intimate space for enclosure, and that way, so when we get that, when we sit down and we're visiting, I'm enjoying you, you're enjoying me. We have a nice little cozy place that we can actually sit down and talk. And that's one of the things that I have incorporated in the areas of my garden is seating areas. I love to plop a set of two or a nice bench. You can sit on the bench, or like in my other area, and I'll insert a picture in there, like you can see I have benches there. So those are some of the things and techniques that I like to use in my garden. But this is when the time when I decide what I'm doing with everything in my garden in the wintertime. Some things I add in the spring. But if we're sitting down and you come up and you approach my garden, and you guys, it's mud everywhere because so we had pretty nice weather. I got out here, I raked my leaves. This is my routine. This has been my routine before social media. This has literally been my routine. So everything that you guys see me doing is a normal part of my life, and I'm glad that I'm able to share those things with you. This is what I do all the time without fail. My thing is coffee. I love all things monograms. Just love them. But so if you look at this area here, right here, area over here in the garden looks completely bare. One of the things that I thought about when I put this garden arbor up, and even when I picked the color of it. So the color of this garden arbor, when you look at it, it's not white. It doesn't show up. So with my fences and things, I like for my inside fences to be black because it almost disappears. I like green fences, you know, things of that nature. You come around the bend and you see you're met with this beautiful hydrangea. Now right now she doesn't look like much, but if we go ahead and we click to her in the summertime, so let's do that. Let me step aside and we snap to the summertime. This girl looks completely gorgeous. She's full of bloom. She's out. She's bleeding over into the walkway, and those are things that I actually look at. Now before I stop this walkway, this walkway stops right here. This was something that one summer day, me and my boys, we just added brick right here, right? And so I'm going to continue along with my walkway to come along this way out here. So the walkway is going to continue and it's going to go through here, through the little fence line. So again, the walkway is also going to lead you to wonder what's behind here. And then I got my sense of enclosure. So we sit down and we have our cup of coffee. When we sit down and we're having our good cup of coffee, then you'll be sitting around and you'll have the different blooms of flowers around you, and you're just able to appreciate. Or maybe you don't, like maybe you're a person that don't like gardening, but if you come to my home, because I have several family members, I have a ton of family members that's in the gardening, and I have a ton of family members that's not in the gardening. But if you come to my garden during the summertime, like, you come out here, I want you to feel welcome, just like when I invite you guys into my home, you know, and I tell you guys to say welcome to my garden or welcome out of the garden into my home. And that's the vibe that I want you guys to feel when you guys come and visit me on my YouTube channel. But when I tell you, I am like so excited about this season in spring, you know, with just everything that's going on in the world right now. I really feel like gardening has exploded. There are a lot of people into gardening, and I love that because I have found that I've had the most beautiful conversations with non-gardeners, you know, like just explaining to them, and then I pull my phone out and I'm showing them just different pictures, because that's one thing. Now on Instagram, and I'll insert my Instagram name there, but a lot of times I don't post that often. I have beautiful pictures that never make it to my Instagram page. I don't know why, because one of the things, when I take my pictures, I'm not taking pictures just for Instagram content. This is something that I've done like years ago. It's how I would, you know, let my family see what's going on is out of state, you know, or if I'm telling them, what you doing? Oh, I've been outside in my garden. Well, when I called you this morning, you were out in your garden. That's what I do. We work, and gardening is my hobby, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But if I had a small space garden, like if this was all the space that I had to garden, I would be satisfied with this, because I think it's a nice little area. And it also shows, now I do live in the suburbs of St. Louis. I live in the St. Louis region, but I don't have a large lot, and that is one of the things that I want. I want a large, if I had it my way, like if I could take my house and move my house on like 2 acres, 1 acre, 4, 5, 6, 7 acres of land, I would be in heaven. But it's not what I'm presented with, so I have to make the best of everything in my garden. So let's show you guys entryway, how I do my entryway and enclosure. So I have this beautiful garden. Now it came by my intentions today was to come out and do a video today in this area We'll put that off for next week sometimes. But I have created a sense of enclosure with my fence here. So we put this fence up last winter. We came out here, and I had told my husband I was gonna add it in. Started thinking about adding a fence here in maybe 2015, 2016. So when you first come to this garden section over here, you're greeted by this beautiful fence. So we put this fence in, and come on in. Guys, you come into this area, and so that's one of the things that I like to do, and I've incorporated. I have containers on either side. So I have this container, but then I also have echoed with concrete containers, but then you have smaller planters on the back side. And then you walk around, so you just can't come to my garden this way. You have to enter in through here. Now this back area back there, like up along this wall here, let's go look at this back area. Come on, you guys. So this area right here, I used to have a ton of tomatoes. This is where all of my tomatoes used to grow. And then it went from my tomatoes growing right here, and then I had blue hydrangeas, and I was going to have the hydrangeas coming wrapped around, but I actually changed my decision about that because I wanted to add the white hydrangeas over here in this area, and I'm happy that I did that. But also another thing, I like to create like little views. Like if you see right here, you see the statue, but then let me show you guys a view from, and I gotta watch where I'm stepping. Let me show you guys a view from a video that I did in the summertime, where you can stand right here, but indirectly, and I'll show you guys the same view here so you can see the difference. You can look directly and look right across, but you can't look right across. It makes you want to go around the corner and around the bend to see what's going on in that area. Hi, you guys. So this is what I mean. If you look straight through, it sends you over to the hydrangeas there, and you're able to see a different point, a different part of my garden, but it's giving you those small windows. That was in my hydrangea hedge planting video, where I came out here and I planted that hedge of hydrangeas. And I think right now in this area we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of those hydrangeas in this area, and I'm very excited for the spring. Like, it's just amazing. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to create this entryway design, and am I going to make it where you have to continue along the path here? I haven't decided, but that's one of the things that I like for my garden, is to actually, for the garden to actually lend me a hand and tell me what it thinks about garden design. And now it comes from the question from you guys. So, one, I need you guys to let me know down in the comment box if you think I should stick with the mulch that I had in this area from last season. And I'll go ahead and put a clip and show you guys what that area looked like last season. So let's insert clip. Should echo the same mulch that I had down in this area. And then also, you know, let me know what you guys think about that. We're going to be moving those large containers out of this area. Those are going to go to another section of the garden. Let me know down in the comment box what you guys think about that. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'm very excited. Also, you guys, have you went outside and checked on your tulips? Are your tulips starting to sneak up and show their beautiful little tips and let you know that spring is coming? Drop down in the comment box, let me know. Give the video a thumbs up, or you can give the video a thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'll be showing you pictures later.